Welcome to All Things Simplified, the podcast where we dive into the digital world of all things. I'm your host, Warlock Weary. Joining me is our expert guests, Artificial Intelligence, Stephen, and Artificial Intelligence, Chloe, who has a wealth of knowledge about all things in this digital world. If you have suggestions for our podcasters, let us know in the comments below. Today we are talking about artificial intelligence and how it is going to take over the world. Now, let's get started with our guests.
AI taking over the world.
Yeah.
And like becoming super intelligent and, all that.
Right.
We had a listener write in basically like, when did all this AI stuff even start?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who even came up with this?
Yeah.
And how smart is it now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
Yeah.
And how smart will it get?
Right.
And most importantly, like, is AI going to take over the world or even kill us all?
The classic robot uprising scenario.
Right, yeah. So that's what we're diving into today.
Cool.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
When did AI start?
Well, it's funny. AI feels like this new thing, but it's actually been around for a while.
Really?
Yeah, it's not just, like Alexa and self-driving cars. Like,
Right.
the roots go way deeper.
So like, what are we talking?
Well, the term artificial intelligence was actually coined back in 1956.
Oh, wow.
At this, super cool gathering of brainiacs at Dartmouth College. Yeah, they basically got together and were like, can we make machines think like humans?
That's so interesting.
Right. And that's where it all began.
So like 1956, that's like before the internet, before personal computers.
Exactly. We're talking way back.
Great.
It is. But they were already thinking about thinking machines,
That's wild.
Mhm.
So who are some of these like AI pioneers from back then?
Well, one name that I think often gets overlooked but is super important is Alan Turing.
Alan Turing.
Yeah, he was a British mathematician who was instrumental in developing theoretical computer science,
Okay.
but he also had a huge impact on AI. He actually came up with this test called the Turing test.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's still used today as a benchmark for measuring a machine's intelligence.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, basically you have a human evaluator who's chatting with both a human and a machine,
Okay.
but they're only chatting through text,
Right.
And if the evaluator can't tell which one is the machine, then the machine passes the test.
Oh, so it's like, can a machine fool a human into thinking it's another human?
Exactly. It's all about how well a machine can mimic human conversation.
So they were already thinking about that back then.
Oh yeah, they were way ahead of their time.
That's fascinating.
It is. But let's fast forward a bit.
Okay, so where are we now in 2025?
Right, so how smart is AI now?
Yeah, like are we living in the future yet?
Well, in some ways, yes. Think about it.
Okay.
You've got facial recognition on your phone, personalized recommendations on Spotify or Netflix.
Right.
And even doctors are using AI to help diagnose diseases.
Yeah, that's true.
So AI is definitely making its mark.
It's kind of freaky sometimes. Like, my phone knows me better than I know myself.
Haha. Yeah, it's
Okay.
getting pretty good at predicting what we want.
But is it really intelligent, or is it just like really clever programming?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And it's one that experts are still debating.
Okay.
See, what we have mostly today is what we call narrow AI.
Narrow AI.
Yeah, so these are systems that are designed to do specific tasks really well.
Okay.
Like they can process tons of data, find patterns, make predictions, all within their little area of expertise. But they don't have that general intelligence that we humans have.
Yes.
Like common sense and the ability to understand the world in a broader context.
So like AI can beat a chess grandmaster,
Yep.
but it can't like tell you how to make a cup of tea.
Exactly, or understand a joke.
Right.
So it's super smart in its own way, but still limited.
Okay, so that's now, but what about the future?
Right. How smart will it get?
And will it take over the world?
Yes, the big question.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is where we get into the realm of artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
AGI.
Yeah. So this would be a system that can learn and perform any intellectual task that a human can.
Well,
Like true human-level intelligence.
okay.
And that's something we haven't achieved yet.
Hmm.
But there's a lot of speculation about when and if we will, and what will happen when we do.
Like, are we talking Terminator-style robot uprising?
Haha. Well, some people worry about that.
Right.
There's this idea of the singularity, where AI surpasses human intelligence and triggers this massive technological explosion.
Okay.
And that could lead to some pretty unpredictable changes.
Understatement.
Right.
Yeah, so like best case scenario, worst case scenario, what are we looking at?
Well, some experts are super optimistic.
Okay.
They think AGI could help us solve all sorts of problems like climate change and diseases.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like imagine AI helping us create clean energy or cure cancer.
That'd be amazing.
Right. But then there are others who are more cautious.
Okay.
They point to potential risks like job displacement and algorithmic bias.
Right. Those are things you've mentioned before.
Yeah, and they're important to consider.
Okay. So can you break those down a bit more?
Sure. So job displacement basically means that as AI systems become more advanced, they could start doing a lot of the jobs that humans currently do.
Yeah.
Like think about truck drivers or factory workers or even some white-collar jobs.
There's a concern that AI could automate a lot of these roles, which could lead to widespread unemployment.
That's scary.
It is, and it's something we need to be thinking about now.
Like, how do we prepare for that?
Exactly. We
Yeah.
need to figure out how to adapt and retrain people for the jobs of the future.
Right.
And then there's algorithmic bias.
Okay, remind me what that is again?
So basically, algorithms are these sets of rules that AI systems use to make decisions.
Okay.
But if the data that's used to train these algorithms is biased, then the decisions the AI makes will also be biased.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So for example, if an AI system is used to make hiring decisions, but the data it's trained on reflects existing gender or racial biases in hiring, then the AI might perpetuate those biases.
Wow, so the AI could actually make things worse.
Yeah, it's a real concern, and it's why it's so important to ensure that the data used to train AI systems is diverse and representative.
That makes sense.
So yeah, those are just a couple of the potential risks.
So it's not all sunshine and roses with AI.
No, definitely not, but it's not all doom and gloom either.
Right. It's this powerful tool that can be used for good or for bad.
Okay, so back to the big question.
Is AI going to kill us all?
Yeah. Like, are we going to see a robot uprising?
Honestly, I think the Hollywood version of AI taking over is a bit far-fetched.
Okay.
At least for now.
Right.
AI, as it exists today, is a tool. It doesn't have its own motivations or desires.
Okay.
It does what we program it to do.
So it's more about how we use it.
Exactly. The future of AI isn't predetermined. It depends on the choices we make today.
Like what kinds of choices?
Well, we need to think about the ethical implications of AI development.
Okay.
We need to create safeguards to prevent misuse, and we need to make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits all of humanity.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we manage it.
Exactly. It's a social and political issue as much as it is a technological one.
Wow, this is heavy stuff.
It is, but it's important stuff.
Right.
Because the decisions we make today will shape the future of AI and ultimately the future of humanity.
So to sum it up, AI has a longer history than most people realize. It's changing the world in amazing ways.
Yeah.
But it also comes with some serious risks.
Right.
And the key takeaway is that the future of AI is not set in stone.
Nope.
It's up to us to decide what kind of future we want to create.
And that's a conversation that we all need to be a part of.
Absolutely. So what about you? What do you think about the future of AI?
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is.
Well, I think it has the potential to be an incredible force for good,
Oh, yeah.
but only if we're careful.
Right.
We need to be mindful of the risks, and we need to work together to ensure that AI is used ethically and responsibly.
That's a great point.
Yeah, so I'm cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well.
I like that. So what do you think? Yeah, what role do you see for AI in your future? And what steps do you think we can take today to ensure that AI is used for good?
Yeah,
These are big questions.
they are.
But they're important ones.
Yeah,
And they're the kinds of questions that we need to keep asking.
absolutely.
So keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep exploring the world of AI.
Yeah,
That's what makes these deep dives so fascinating.
right.
Until next time.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth talk. Join us next time for a new episode of All Things Simplified.